What is going on, everybody? This is Dave and welcome back today to another video on the channel. It's going to be another football manager video. We haven't had one of these in a long while. I've been struggling to record on my laptop, but finally I've got a PC up and running, hence the lack of kind of graphics. I've just kind of recorded a random logo pack just for the purpose of this video. Today we're going to be talking about my top 10 teams to manage on Football Manager 2017. In my opinion, they're not scientifically proven that they're going to be the best teams, but I think here's 10 teams that you really might enjoy some saves with, and I'm going to give you some reasons why. So the first team for me is going to be Wolves. I've gone a bit biased on this one, but yeah, we've gone with Wolves. I just think, you know, with the recent takeover of the club, there's huge potential. There's a lot of room for improvement too with this Wolves team, but with some of the players that we've brought in, I'm going to say we because I'm a Wolves fan, you know, it's really impressive. I mean, just for starters, Ivan Caballero, he's a really standout player. Valued at over 11 million, just 21 years of age. He'll be 22 for FM17. Already had a really good career. Even for Benfica, his physicals are brilliant, and a lot of the guys in on loan, Helder Costa, Ola John, Houter Shearer, even Stearman, Borthwick Jackson, there's really room for manoeuvre, but still such a solid side. You'll get a huge financial backing as well. If I go on the staff, you can see that we had a Chinese takeover. You got Guangchang Guo as the chairman or the owner of the club. Chairman, I'm not sure who Danny Clark is. I think that's just like a generic person. But you will be taking over from Walter Zenga, who is the current manager in real life. But overall, I think Wolves is a great pick. If you want a lower league save in the Championship, something a little bit to work towards, Wolves could be a huge save for you. The next team I'm going to go with is Manchester United. If you want a big team, you want to learn the ropes of the game, but want instant success, I think Manchester United has to be the team for you this season. With Mourinho in charge, of course, you'd be taking over from him. But I think this page says it all, really. It's players you're going to have Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Rooney, who's still going to be brilliant despite, you know, in real life, his form going down. Martial, with the potential of him, and Depay, it's going to be brilliant. You've got Herrera still in there. Mkhitaryan, a new player as well. Obviously, the big man, the transfer world record holder, Paul Pogba, still young, still huge potential, but still one of the best midfielders in the game overall. Probably defensively need shoring up a little bit, but David De Gea, arguably the best goalkeeper in the world as well. Again, going to have good financial backing. If you want instant success, you want to learn how to win trophies straight away, it's got to be Manchester United. The third team on the list is a little bit different. It's Inter Milan. It's still quite a big team. No taking that away from them. I mean, look at their stadium capacity, 80,000. The Giuseppe Meazza in Italy. But they've had their limelight taken off them a little bit, struggling to break into that top 3 and 4. They used to, you know, round when Mourinho's period, as you can see, he was bossing it. But recently they've been, you know, bullied by Juventus and so on. Even AC Milan have struggled, but they've got a big team. But I feel a massive part of what you can do is because of this guy as well, Gabriele Barbosa, arguably the best wonder kid of Football Manager 2016. He's moved to Inter Milan. He's going to have huge potential again. Physical quality, a very skillful and quick young Brazilian player. But it's not just him. You've got some great players. Mauro Icardi as well. Palacio is a great player. Biabiani, very quick. Candreva as well. Kondogbia is a beast, along with Felipe Melo. There's some work to be done here, but if you want a big team where you can get success almost instantly with a little bit of work, I think Inter Milan is a great save. And obviously not English based as well. Some people want to get away from England a little bit sometimes. I know a couple of people did great Inter Milan saves this year. Kappas and Rich on Twitch TV, if you never caught them. The year before, there was a great Football Manager save, making Interstellar from a guy called Top FM. So people have had success and really enjoyed it with Inter Milan. The first real lower league save is with Grimsby Town, and I think it's fantastic. This graph says it all really for Grimsby Town. They've really struggled, and they were in the Championship for a number of years, you know, early 2000s, and then just fell down. They did the Wolves in dramatic fashion, fell from the Championship to League One in consecutive seasons in 03-04. And then stayed in League 2 for a period of time, and then finally went down in 09-10. Struggled to make their way back up, but finally they're promoted. They won the playoffs last season, as well. So they're back in League 2 now, and Grimsby is going to be a really good team, I feel. Blundell Park, a really decent capacity for that sort of level, and they've got really decent players. Omar Bogle, I know, is a really good player, pretty good physically for that sort of level, and good finisher as well, which is key, and still quite young, which is quality for them. A really decent 62 goals in 109 games for Solihull Moors as well. He actually played with Celtic and Blues Birmingham as well. Got a couple of good guys in on loan. Dean Henderson in on loan. I'm pretty sure from Man U, yeah, from Manchester United. There, Dominic Vos as well, who boasts some really good stats. So overall, there's huge potential in Grimsby Town. It should be a great story if you guys can give success to them as well. Now we're back up to the top flight in England for this one. It's going to be Leicester City. Of course, Leicester's story was absolutely remarkable last season. They won the Premier League with Claudio Ranieri. I think taking over him could be a really tough job. The expectations have all of a sudden hit an all-time high for a change. I think they're not expecting success again, even though that would be fantastic if you could achieve that. But I feel that, you know, they're still expecting European football next season. Some good players in here again. Still room for manoeuvre, but still I feel you get the finances at the start of FM17. Jamie Vardy, of course. Slimani, what a signing he was, in my opinion. Really physical player, but great finishing, great heading on him. Such a good target man on this game. He's got Ahmed Musa as well. Still quite young, a lot younger than I thought he was, but such a quick player and knows where the net is as well. So going forward, he's got no problems. I think the only thing I'd do is strengthen that defence a little bit. It's getting on a little bit. Robert Hoof in his 30s now. Wes Morgan in his 30s now. Johan Belawane, decent player. Marcin Vasilevsky, 35, despite having some pretty decent stats. I've always seen this in Vasilevsky. You can see here how decent is his finishing and heading. Like, he could actually be a pretty decent striker. It's ridiculous. But again, Ron Robert Zieler and Kasper Schmeichel, two fantastic goalkeepers. Danny Simpson there as well. I think with the finances, Leicester, it's still going to be difficult to even mount the European challenge, in my opinion. But it could be an amazing story if you go and win the Premier League again. We're back again in the Championship. It's going to be Burton Albion. Ridiculously, if I quickly show you, they actually predicted to finish 23rd rather than 24th. Who's going to be favourite to finish 24th? I don't have a clue, but that is absolutely ridiculous. I really thought they would. Barnsley. So there you go. But yeah, Burton's story has been incredible. In the late 90s, they were still in the English League 7, which was below. It's kind of the regional leagues, and they were there. They were doing okay, and then finally in 01-02, so only 15 years ago, they got promoted into the National League. They were there for a number of years. In 2008-2009 season, they won that, and they came into League 2. In League 2 for a number of seasons, got promoted in 14-15. They got promoted again from League 1 in 15-16, and now they're in the Championship. With this team, it is going to be extremely hard to mount any sort of decent mid-table onwards push. But that's the beauty of Football Manager. You can do, as long as you manage your team well, you can do whatever you want with any team. I think some great players to look at here. You've got Lloyd Dyer, if you have a quick look at him. Ex-Leicester and Watford man as well. Mainly Championship player. But a very decent Championship player at that as well. So I think that's a good signing for them. You've got Jamie Ward as well as a winger or striker, good player there. Will Miller, Chris O'Grady, I think Hamza Chowdhury is a good player as well, good young player if you're going to keep hold onto him for a couple of years. So overall, again, there's a lot of work to do. There's a bit of a project with this one, but I think Burton Albion, if you can keep them up first season in the Championship, you can make a real go of this save. Going to Spain now for this one. Atletico Madrid, the Champions League finalists, have started pushing a bit of pressure on Real Madrid and Barcelona since Simeone took charge, and I think it's brilliant that we finally got kind of not just a two-horse race in the La Liga, to be fair. Great players again, Moya and Oblak, two very solid goalkeepers. Going to defence, Stefan Savic, Diego Godin, Juanfran, Jose Jimenez is coming into the frame as well a little bit. Felipe Luis, great defensive line, but then you go forward and check out their strikers. Kevin Gamero, even Fernando Torres is find a little bit of form there, but you've got the likes of Antoine Griezmann, Saul, Correa as well. Angel Correa, fantastic player. Yannick Ferreira Carrasco as well, Koke. So some very, very good players on that Atletico Madrid team. And I think the challenge is to push Barcelona and Real Madrid all the way to the end and actually go on to win the league and even push yourself to win the Champions League, because they've done quite well in that competition the last couple of years. I think Antoine Griezmann, you're going to have big teams sniffing around for him on this particular database. I'm using the pro database, by the way. He's £32 million with a lot of greens there, so that shows how good a player he is. They signed Nicolas Gaitan as well, another very good winger in from Benfica, I believe. So again, a big team, and if you want a lot of wins in a season, Atletico Madrid are a good team to learn the ropes of the game but still constantly get 3 points. We're going to stick in Spain. We're going to go with Real Oviedo. Quite a similar situation. They were in the top divisions for a number of years. They went down and down and down, but they kind of held their own a little bit. In the third division, they got promoted, and finally they're back in the second division of La Liga. I think this is a brilliant signing for the Michu, and you should boss, in my opinion, you should boss it with Michu in this sort of division. A Spaniard grabbed a cap in 2013 when he was doing the business for Swansea. I don't know what happened to him. He just vanished. I think he got injured. He's really struggled to get back in the team. But Michu is a great player for them as well. You've got a couple of good players here. Try and see if there's any others. I'm pretty sure they were on the last year's version when I did this video as well last year. You got Esteban, 40 years old as a goalkeeper, but still pretty decent stats on him. Oscar Gil as well, decent young defender. Got a couple of players in. Nando's, you love a cheeky Nando, winger there as well. I think Real Oviedo, they're a fans club. Everyone, a lot of people, I know, I think myself, we've got shares in them as well. Pumped a little bit of money into a fan-owned club. Really, really likeable team as well. And I think this could be a good save. Now the next team were also on last year's my recommended teams. It's going to be Carpi again. They went down unfortunately from Serie A last season, but they had such an incredible rise, almost consecutive promotions all the way up to Serie A. And unfortunately they did go down, so I think it's a good challenge for them to kind of pick themselves back up and get them back up into Serie A as well. Me personally, not on many of these names look very recognizable, but they got a couple of players wanted, and I think that could be an issue if that happens in your save as well. So it's trying to keep that morale high, that squad harmony brilliant as well. And this could be another great story. You know, you push them again for another promotion back into Serie A, and then to make a team, especially with a striker called Kevin Lasagna, to push your team as high as possibly, getting that Serie A title, it'd be incredible. So Inter Milan at one end of the spectrum, and then Carpi, it would be a fantastic save. And finally, another team that are back on the Football Manager official databases should be Parma. They're in the Italian Serie C B, and obviously there's 3 kind of groups in the Italian Serie C, so they're in the B group rather than the A or the other C group. I did an experiment with this team with Hernan Crespo, and they rose up the league quite a fair bit until Crespo got sacked on Football Manager 2016. But Parma, again, I think it's going to be a good save if you want to build a team. You've got the resources there. You're still in that great stadium, the Ennio Tardini. And I think this could be a really good save, as I've already said. A couple of young players, a lot of young players on this particular save. I don't think these are the official players. They may well be. I may well be stupid. But they've got a couple of young players. It'll probably be a bit easier if I just go on general info and show you guys. But you can see how quite young this squad is. A lot of almost half of it are kind of below 28 if you look. So some huge potential there, and I'm pretty sure, you know, you go on the under 20s, the under 18s, there's still big squads as well on that front. Another fantastic story, a huge history past, you know, 2 Euro Cups, your Super Cup, 3 Italian Cups. No Serie A title there. I don't think they've won it, but a lot of history there, and I think that could be a huge save if you want to go into those lower levels. So guys, there we go. That is my top 10 teams to manage on Football Manager 2017. It is a video I did last year as well. I know a couple of guys have already done it this year, but I thought I'd give my thoughts on it again this year for you guys to give you some ideas if you're struggling for a save a little bit for Football Manager 2017. Whether you're a casual player or you're a YouTuber struggling to find a save. I hope this list has helped you out. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all very soon.